Dear students, today we will learn about the fifth chapter of your textbook Flamingo. The name of the chapter is Poets and Pancakes by Ashoka Mitran. And in this video we will learn about the author, the summary, and the theme of the chapter Poets and Pancakes by Ashoka Mitran. First of all, about the author. Ashoka Mitran, 22nd September 1931 to 23rd March 2017, was a famous Tamil writer and Sahitya Academy winner. He was one of the few writers who wrote fluently in both Tamil and English. In a career spanning over 6 decades, he wrote 8 novels, 20 novels, and hundreds of short stories on a wide range of issues. He spent the initial years of his career in the famous Gemini studios of Chennai. Although he was entrusted with the clerical task of cutting and pasting newspaper articles, he learned a lot about the functioning of Gemini studios, which he humorously depicted in his autobiographical book, My Years with Boss. Now this is the figure of the writer, pick of the writer Ashoka Mitran, and the biography about him. Now we will learn about the summary of the lesson Poets and Pancakes. Now the lesson begins with Ashoka Mitran telling us about Gemini Studios. We learn about the very popular makeup brand whose name was Pancakes. The Gemini Studios use this brand excessively and orders truckloads of their products. After that, he goes on to tell the readers about the troubles the actors and actresses face. We learn about the many lights glaring in their faces when they are getting ready in the makeup room. Moreover, who also mentions how the makeup department uses loads of makeup to make them look ugly. He also tells us about the office boy in the makeup department. He has a joy to slap paint during crowd shooting on the faces of players. Further, we learn that the author is a poet who joins the studio to become an actor, screenwriter, director, or lyricist. He has a cubicle to work where he has to collect newspaper cuttings. The office boy always came in with his complaints to the author. The author thinks that Subbu is the one who troubles him. As Subbu is a Brahman, the author thinks he has an upper hand. We see that Subbu is a resourceful man with a loyalty that sets him apart. Subbu is the perfect one for films, and filmmaking is impossible without him. Everyone loves Subbu for being friendly and hospitable. Along with many others, Subbu also does poetry. He works for the story development that also has a lawyer. However, people considered him to be the exact opposite of a legal consultant. Moreover, he is a logical man with a neutral mindset in a group where there are only dreamers. After that, we learn how the Gemini Studios got the opportunity to host the Moral Rearmament Army. They are a group of international performers named Moral Rearmament Army. While they did not have very complex plots or messages, their sets and costumes were almost perfect. Further, another guest, Stephen Spender, makes a visit to Gemini Studios. However, turns out he is not that famous and many people have not even heard of him. Moreover, owing to language barriers, many could not understand him. Thus his visit remained a mystery until after many years the author saw Stephen's name in a book and recognized him from his visit to the studio. Conclusion. To sum up, Poets and Pancakes summary. We learn about the film industry in detail and the inside functioning as well as when independent India was in its infancy. This was the summary of the lesson Poets and Pancakes by Ashoka Mitran. Next, we learn about the themes of the lesson Poets and Pancakes. Now, the important themes: number one, favoritism and psychophancy at the place of work. Kotamangalam Subbu reaches the position of second in command at the Gemini Studios because of favoritism, by virtue of being born a Brahman. He had the ability to look cheerful at all times, even after a flop film. Subbu seems to be highly versatile as he can up came up with four alternative ways to a scene. If they were not good enough, he could come out with 14 other ways to do the same scene. He was a poet, a novelist, and yet the office boy believes that all his success might have been because he seemed so close and intimate with the boss. Another reason for Subbu's success might be that his general demeanor resembled a psychopath's. Now, the second theme of the lesson, poetry and pancakes. Hierarchy at the place of work. According to Asoka Mitran, a strict hierarchy in the makeup department. The chief makeup man applied makeup on the chief actors and actresses. His senior assistant looked after the second hero and heroine. The junior assistant looked after the comedian. The office boy, the one who feels jealous of Subbu, is on the lowest rung of the hierarchical ladder. Number 3. Social integration at the place of work. While favoritism, psychophancy, and hierarchy are divisive in nature, it is surprising to know that social integration was closely followed in Gemini studios. As such, the makeup department was first headed by a Bengali who was succeeded by a Maharashtrian. The Maharashtrian was assisted by a Dharwar Kannadiga and Andhra, a Madras Indian Christian and Anglo-Burmese, and then, of course, there were the local Tamils. Number 4. Propaganda at the place of work. Unfortunately, Gemini Studios does become a battlefield for propaganda, in which the people who work in studios become the confused, dazed, and helpless victims in a war of philosophies and schools of thought that they don't really understand. The moral rearmament army's hidden agenda was to counter international communism. It was with this express purpose that they visited Madras in 1952. Later, when Stephen Spender visited Gemini Studios, it was to propagate the virtues of communism. Although his speech was interspersed with words like freedom and democracy, his accent left them baffled. Now, the last theme is jealousy at the place of work. Asoka Mitran describes jealousy at great length. In this case, there was one person who was jealous of Kotamangalam Subbu. This was the office boy who had entered the studios years ago in the hope of becoming a star actor or a top screenwriter, but he had not managed to any of them. He was in his early 40s and treated Subbu with envy. In all instances of frustration, you will always find the anger directed towards a single person openly or covertly, and this man of the makeup department was convinced that all his woes, ignominy, and neglect were due to Kotamangalam Subbu. Subbu had managed to write poetry, he had written a novel, and he was an amazing actor, all of which this office boy had wanted but could never achieve. Dear students, this was the theme of the story Poets and Pancakes. Thank you.